Με λένε DESPINA KISKINIS. I'm from the Bronx. I've grown up in the Bronx. My parents are both from Greece, and my father is from Yanina and my mother from Patra. For the past 3 years, I've been visiting every summer, but I've been visiting a lot growing up. In my family in general, whenever there's a new child, we try to only speak Greek around them so that they grow up speaking Greek. So Greek was my first language. I'm not allowed to speak English to my younger cousins now. I went to Greek school from, I guess, 2nd to 8th grade. The last 2 years were practice for the regents, and it was every Monday and Wednesday for 2 hours. I'm majoring in education.
And also the Hellenic studies?
Well, I'm taking Greek classes for the moment, but maybe later something with Hellenic studies. My mother's parents live with us. They only speak Greek, so obviously we only have to speak Greek to them. My father actually usually only speaks Greek to us. Sometimes he'll speak English. And when we're outside, we speak Greek a lot more. Of course, especially downstairs where my grandparents are, they only watch Greek TV. What are they gonna do with English TV? My father brings home, I think, oskirika every day. And yeah, we listen to Greek music in the car all the time. I have Greek music on my iPod. Absolutely. Always.
Only at home
Η
or
γιαγιά μαγειρεύει, οπότε
και όταν
ελληνικά
βγαίνετε έξω
τρώμε.
πάτε και τρώτε ελληνικά ή...
Προσπαθούμε. Δηλαδή αν ξέρουμε καλό εστιατόριο και σουβλάκια. Ναι, έχει πολλούς, αλλά επειδή έχουμε την εκκλησία εκεί, οι Έλληνες που είναι εκεί για χρόνια στην κοινότητα.
Ποια εκκλησία?
Ζωδόχους πηγή. Στο Bronx. For me, ever since I was younger, at least with my family, they've always told me that I was Greek because whenever I would go out and see other kids my age, they would call me the Americanaki. And that's something that has always bothered me. My family knows that it bothers me. And because they see how much I love Greece, of course they're going to call me Greek, but they know that I live in America, so I have that part too. Greek, absolutely. Especially in my high school, Loyola High School on the Upper East Side, we had a lot of other Europeans who were German, Italian, who are very close to their culture. So we kind of had like our own little European group. Not at all. I mean, I've always been kind of known, I guess, as like the Greek girl, but I've always liked it. It's never been, I've always called myself Greek. I think that's like hard to put into words. It's just everything that I've experienced growing up. Like we've always spoken Greek. We've always spoken Greek foods. In Greek school, we always had special events for like the holidays. The religion, I think, is a really important and strong part of our culture. So it's just a combination of everything put together. With my church, I do.
And also dances, festivals?
Well, my mom is part of the Kalabritino Σύλλογο, so whenever they have dances or events, we kind of try to go to that. My grandparents do go a lot more than we do. I have to have pictures of Greece to get me through the year. Of course, I have icons because Brunella, you have to have an icon in your room. And I don't have evil eyes, but I wear evil eyes. So Yeah, absolutely. When usually what happens, because I think Despina is like, it's an unheard of name for Americans and for people who aren't Greek. So if I say my name's Despina, they automatically say, "Oh, where are you from?" Because it's something that they're not used to. Usually, if I say Kiskini, they might realize that it's more of like a Greek name. So it depends. People can tell because my name's so unheard of here in America for Americans. I mean, I can say just because, like with my studies, I have to focus so much on school, and because I'm only studying the Greek language, I don't get to watch Greek films or read Greek books because I don't have time to like read anything, period, other than what my school gives me. Um, it's not like I would be opposed to it, but I just don't have the time to do it right now. I think the thing with Greek scholarships is that you have to know someone who knows something about the scholarships. It's not like you're not going to know about it if someone doesn't bring it up to you. There have been people in my church who are large parts of the archdiocese and know a lot of what is going on. So they will bring up to me when they see me, "Have you heard about this scholarship? Maybe you should try." If I did have the chance to study in Greece, I think it would be an amazing opportunity since I've only gone there for vacation. So I think it would, and since I stay there so long for vacation, I feel like I'm living in Greece. 3 months is a long time to be there. So I think it would be nice to compare what it's like to be there every day for a year, having to do homework, having obligations and responsibilities rather than just being on vacation. I think now that I'm a little bit older, I've been able to connect the two. Growing up, I was always like, no, I'm Greek. I would never call myself an American. But now growing up, I realize that I've lived in America my entire life. It's a big part of who I am. I love my city, I love New York, but Greece is my heart and America is my home. I think so because I think there are so many families like my own who want to keep it going, who and when you find other families like that, for example, in our Greek class, there are a lot of other students who we talk about our families during class, and I can compare my family to theirs, and there's so many similarities. And even when like you're walking down the street and you hear someone talking Greek that you don't even know, like you have a smile on your face. You're like, oh, that's someone I can identify with. They're Greek, it's my people. Like for real, when I'm walking down the street and I hear someone speaking Greek, it's like, oh, like you get so excited. I think it's like an underlying pressure. It's not exactly as obvious, but because of the way that I've been raised and how proud I am and how excited I would be to share what I know about my culture, how I feel with someone else who has those same experiences, like I would like to end up with someone who's Greek. Absolutely. Not that I would be a get if I fall in love with someone else, what are you going to do? But I definitely would want to be with someone who's Greek. Of course. Like I want someone who's very, very authentic Greek. So. Well, I know that when I was in high school, I guess my senior year, when everything started coming out about the economic crisis in Greece, I would hear people using like stereotypes like, what do you expect? They're just drinking coffee all day, you know? And I would say, how can you sit there and say something like that when you don't have anyone who's suffering in Greece? You don't know who's suffering right now. You don't live there. You can't say anything. I think I can't say anything about the political standpoint of what's going on, but I think that people of my generation feel bad for the people of our generation there, because they're in school right now, they're trying to study. There are people who have graduated who have really good degrees and can't get good jobs. Like, what are they going to do? So I think all we can do here is just support Greece, no matter what, no matter the negative comments. I don't know specific details, but because when we are having dinner, we generally have the Greek news on. It's a weird time to be watching the news, but in our house and like within our family, we have a lot of debates about politics. Like, people have different ideas. I tend to try to not get involved. I listen more than say something because I don't know enough about them to be able to give my opinion. I didn't go to Greek school at Zoologopigi. I went to St. Demetrius in Astoria, but I attended like Hope and Joy, I guess, which is a smaller version of Goya at my church. But for sure, there need to be other organizations other than the church that's going to promote and like keep the culture, because not everyone of my generation is going to go to church right now. I went to Sunday school until the 8th grade. I was a Sunday school teacher for 9th and 10th grade. Went to church every Sunday. But then after that, you have to study more. You have other responsibilities as you get into higher education. I can't go to church all the time. We used to read the Bible every Sunday. I don't read the Bible now by myself. There have to be like other ways to promote doing things on your own time rather than just on Sunday. I don't.
Is something that you think you can get? It is part of your identity in the future?
I mean, a couple of years ago, actually, I was really like pushing my dad to just get me the Greek passport. I really wanted it. Now I haven't like thought about it as much, but it's something that I would like to do in the future. I don't see why not. I would like to be recognized as a Greek citizen as well. My dad's dad, my grandfather, Dimitrios Kiskinis, from Yanina, καταγωγή Samarina. I knew that when I was younger, he's in the newspaper, that when the Germans were coming into Yanina, he's seen raising the Greek flag in the platea, in the Kedro. So that's something, when I go to Yanina, especially like my name, Kiskini is such a big name because everyone knows me as Egoni to Kiskini. So that's something that's like a lot of fun. My other grandfather, whenever I go to Kalavrita, our χωριό is Livarzi, λέγεται. Όποτε πηγαίνω εκεί όλοι τον ξέρουν. Οι Καλιακουδαίοι, δηλαδή. Και από τις δύο μεριές, it's all good. Especially in my mom's father's house in Livarzi, because it's like the original house where everyone was from. Where my grandfather had 8 brothers. A few of them passed away early, some in the war, for different events. But their house has it's like a little museum. There are pictures of everyone on the wall. Each person, like my grandparents have their own room. My cousin's grandparents have another room. So when you go there, you literally feel all of like the history surrounding you, because it is like a little museum. There are relics of the older people who have passed away. So it's really. My father had come by himself in 1978 to go to school. He had actually my grandmother's sister here, but other than that, his entire family was in Greece. My mother came with her mother's side of the family. Basically, everyone from her mother's side is here now. My grandfather's side, no one has immigrated except for my grandfather's father's siblings, but we have lost touch with them. We don't know exactly where they might be in the States. We do have a Hellenic club here, but because I'm a commuter, I don't dorm here, and the meetings are so late in the afternoon. I don't really like staying on campus all day when I have a lot of homework. I prefer to do my homework at home. So I haven't actually gone to any of the Greek clubs, but I've heard about them. I know that they have their own meetings where they have coffee with each other every Thursday, I think. But I've never been to any of the meetings. Well, my father works in Astoria. His business is in Astoria, so ever since I was younger, we've always been going. We do all our Greek shopping at Titan, of course.
Greek food and
Of course. We get our feta from there. And we go for coffee. We spend a lot of time in Astoria. My brother still goes to Greek school at St. Demetrius every Friday. So every Friday, we're usually all there together after Greek school. Of course, absolutely. Even though I do think that I've noticed a lot of Greek restaurants are now opening up in the city, except I don't think they're as heard of as everything is in Astoria. But you have all the cafeterias in the line, you know, it's exactly how it would be in Greece. It's not completely the same, because how can it ever be the same? But it's enough for now. I think it's a matter of, at least for me, because I'm in the Bronx and because there's a good Greek community there, it's about going to church and talking to people you haven't talked to maybe when you were in Sunday school like 10 years ago. Or when I was younger, there were a lot more Greek people in the Bronx, at least my age, people who I had connected with, but they have moved away. It's all about, like, no matter how far you get from each other, even if you haven't spoken in years, it's okay to, like, go back and reconnect with that same person and put in the effort to be friends again if you were, if you knew each other a while ago. And especially now with our Greek class at NYU, I find that I've made like a lot of good friends. I think that's probably a good opportunity within schools. It's not going to happen by itself. There needs to be effort put in from all of us, because how can you expect the culture to continue in a place that's so diverse where you have so many different cultures if you're not purposely like putting the effort in? I think an important part of it is I've been fortunate enough that my family has sent me to Greece the past 3 years, and I've seen it in a different light than when I was going every summer with my parents, because I'm older, especially now during the economic crisis. I could go out and not see as many people as I would be used to seeing. I think that going to Greece is a big part of it, but even if you don't go to Greece, it's all about, I guess, educating other people. Like when you meet other people, what I was saying about my name, how if I say my name, someone's like, "What are you?" They're automatically intrigued because I'm Greek and because it's a culture that is so rich. So they'll ask me questions all the time, like, "Do you go to Greece? Like, where is your family from in Greece?" Um, so it's not necessarily just about like identifying with other Greek people. It's about educating other people of different cultures and showing them how important Hellenism is.